obviously playing in a smaller arena, but we kind of use it to our advantage. The boards were lively. It's just a little different setup, obviously, than your average NHL arena. So they've used that to their advantage. The record is pretty good at mullet, and you can't take these teams lightly. They're well coached, and they work hard. So we got to be ready.
How good a coach is Andre?
Andre's awesome. I loved him. He's a really good teacher, really good human, and he's done a great job with that group. A lot of young guys, and I think he's molding them in a really effective way. So even as an older guy, I learned a lot. He teaches a lot of different things, little things in video and individual meetings that it's a little different than a lot of coaches. So I really enjoyed his coaching and being with him for 3/4 of the year.
For whatever reason, sometimes a new team or a change of scenery maybe doesn't work out for whatever reason. Sometimes it just seems to click. And it feels like with both you and Matthias, it just seems to have clicked into the roles, but into the group. Why do you think that is?
I think a lot of it has to do with what the room is like. When you're coming into it. This group is, obviously well solidified in the league. A lot of good players, but as far as humans, there aren't many egos in the room. Everyone's pretty on the same page, and enjoy being around each other. So when you're walking into a room like that, it just makes it that much easier. And as far as the on ice stuff, obviously X done unbelievable. And for me, I'm just trying to contribute. I've said this in whatever way they want me to, penalty kill, 5-on-5, whatever it is. But you want to find your footing as quick as possible, and I think the coaching staff and the guys in this room have made us feel very comfortable.
Well, you can't take for granted that just a change of location is going to result in positive things. Like it can be fairly rare. You've sort of been through. You've traveled, to a few different spots here and there.
Yeah. It's a whole adjustment, whether it's climate, city, moving your family. There's a lot of different things that go into a trade. So you just you got to go into it with an open mind, and I just try to work my hardest every day and grow with these guys. Obviously, it's a short period of time before playoffs to really mold together as far as me and Eki, but like I said, it's been pretty seamless transition with these guys.
How did you change your game from when you were an offensive player to now?
Yeah,
Did you look in the mirror one day?
Yeah, I had a lot to learn. I think I was a scorer. I played high school hockey till I was 17, and never really left Minnesota till I was 20. So I always wanted to learn. I didn't really. It took me a while to really learn the NHL game. We're all relied on to score and be offensive, but I think I've had to obviously adapt my game over time. That's a lot of guys as they get older. So I talked to my coach since I was 5 years old, and he was preaching a lot of the stuff that I'm finally executing. So I was joking that it's finally kicking in. But
25 years later.
35 years later, yeah, slow learner. But that comes with the territory, and this game, I've learned a lot about myself and a lot about the game throughout my career. So I just enjoy every day and keep moving forward.
Tell me about the brick tournament. Is there anybody on your team back then who's also in the NHL?
Not from my team. I played for the Minnesota Blades, and I think they still come up here. There's Tyler Sagan. You had Jason Zucker. Who else was there? There's a handful of guys. Obviously, if you look at the list, that brick tournament. I think I was in third grade. You have no idea. You have no idea. I remember meeting, I think it was Comrie. Is it his dad that owns the brick? He came in, and that was the first NHL player I met. So it was like, I keep harping on it. It was the best week of my life, but happened to be here in Edmonton, and here we are.
Did you go in all the usual stuff there when you played hockey too, the water park, and as a kid?
Yeah, we didn't leave the hotel. I legit don't. I think we might have seen the outside for a few minutes that week. So parents were probably losing their minds a little bit being in a hotel and mall for a week. But I mean, it was so fun as a kid, and I'm glad it's still going on, and I'm sure it'll continue to be a great tournament.
Take your kids to here.
I took them to the water park, and I felt like a little kid again. And but yeah, great spot, and we've done some fun things around the city. Went snow tubing one day, so and my girls are loving it here, so it's awesome.
There was a time when Edmonton had a hard time getting free agents, and sometimes guys get traded here and they weren't so happy about it. And their families and their wives is this cold and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe tell me how that's, the guys that have come in here now seem pretty happy, the families seem pretty happy. How come? What's changed?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's the hockey. You come into a good team, you're excited to be a part of a playoff caliber team. But as far as the city, I have some good friends from Edmonton, very nice people, love their hockey, and I'm from Minnesota, so it's a similar climate, attitude, culture as far as sports go. So it's not too unfamiliar. It is. I think it's even more diehard than Minnesota as far as hockey goes. I hate to admit. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully the Minnesotans don't hear that, but yeah, people love their hockey. So to me, that's great. Like that's why we're playing. We're here, to enjoy the city with the fans and enjoy winning together. So that's So, like I said, when I got the call, I was super pumped to be coming.
Pissick comes back after the season, you kicked out.
Yeah. He's got to find a rental. He's no, I don't know what that situation will be like, but we'll figure it out.
Did anybody recognize you when you walked through the park, get through the mall?
No.
Connor, I guess.
No. Yeah. No, I went and reminisced. I stared at the rink, told my girls that I played on that rink when I was 10. They didn't care. They wanted to go to the water park. So, it was a fun day. So.
Did it seem like the mall hadn't changed at all?
Yeah, it looks the same.
You look 20 years later
Yeah.
and think, Jesus.
Yeah.
It just kind of looks the same.
Yeah, it's very similar. It's a nice mall, but it's just the whole setup is. I remember eating at certain places, and so it's great memories for sure.
So you come here, this is a pretty good chance for you, maybe one of the better chances you've had to finally get somewhere close to a cup. I guess we'll see. When you looked as a younger player at your role when the opportunity finally arrived, you probably didn't look at it where you are. You're third line center, maybe sometimes fourth line center. Is it, did all roads have to cross the right way to get to where you need to be? You know what I mean? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big believer in everything's. There might be time delay on things, but everything sorts itself out if you do the right things in your career. And I don't even think when I was younger I didn't even know. It wasn't that I expected to be a first line center or anything. It just I didn't totally understand what I was effective at, and when you're not scoring, then what do you bring to the table? So I guess didn't look back and say, oh man, this isn't how I expected it to go. I guess I didn't really. As a college kid, you don't even know if you're going to make it to the NHL. So once you get to the NHL, let's take that next step. And for me, my mindset's always just been kind of year to year, team to team. How can I grow in whatever environment I'm in? And that's a thing you learn over time. And when I was a peewee, I didn't even expect to make the Bantam team the next year. I've never really had that vision of expectation, and I think. I have goals, individual goals and stuff like that, but you learn over your career that you need to adapt and find roles. So.